Welcome back to Decorative, where timeless charm meets everyday comfort. Today, we're stepping into the world of classic vintage guest room decor, blending rustic glam elements with polished warmth to create a space your visitors will never want to leave. If you love old-world elegance, cozy textures, and thoughtful details, you're in the right place. A guest room is more than just a spare bed, it's a retreat, a quiet escape, and a reflection of your home's personality. By layering vintage inspiration with rustic finishes and soft glamour, you can transform even the simplest room into a refined sanctuary. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to Decorative, like this video, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Tell us which vintage elements you love most, we'd love to hear from you. Now, let's begin. Start with a warm, muted color palette that instantly sets the tone. Think creamy ivories, soft taupes, dusty rose, sage green, and warm grayish tones. These hues create a soothing foundation that feels both classic and inviting. Layer in slightly deeper shades through textiles and accent pieces, perhaps a faded burgundy throw or antique gold detailing. The goal is harmony, not contrast, allowing every element to feel gently aged and cohesive. Vintage guest rooms thrive on subtlety. Avoid overly bright or modern tones and instead choose colors that feel like they've softened gracefully over time. This instantly adds polished warmth to the space. The bed is the focal point of any guest room, so choose one with presence. A wrought iron frame with delicate curves or a carved wooden headboard brings instant vintage appeal. Look for distressed finishes, intricate detailing, or even antique-inspired replicas that echo 19th century craftsmanship. The texture and shape of the frame will anchor the entire design. Pair your statement bed with soft linens to balance the structure. The contrast between sturdy vintage materials and plush fabrics creates the rustic glam comfort we're after. Layering is essential in vintage decor. Begin with crisp cotton sheets, then add a quilt or matelass coverlet for classic texture. Introduce depth with embroidered pillows, lace-trimmed shams, and perhaps a velvet accent cushion. These layers add visual richness while maintaining elegance. Finish with a folded knit throw or faux fur blanket at the foot of the bed. This not only enhances comfort but also gives guests the feeling of thoughtful hospitality. Nightstands are an opportunity to showcase charming details. Choose wooden pieces with curved legs, brass hardware, or softly distressed paint finishes. A mismatched pair can feel especially authentic, as if collected over time. Look for subtle carvings or marble tops for a hint of vintage luxury. Style them simply, with a small lamp, a stack of classic books, and perhaps a ceramic dish for jewelry. Keep it functional yet beautifully understated. Lighting defines mood. Instead of harsh overhead fixtures, opt for table lamps with linen shades or vintage-inspired sconces. Crystal or brass bases add a touch of glam, while warm bulbs soften the entire room. The glow should feel gentle, almost candlelight. Layer lighting sources to create depth. When guests can adjust the brightness to their comfort, the room feels both luxurious and welcoming. Rustic Glam is all about contrast. Incorporate reclaimed wood elements like a bench at the foot of the bed or exposed wooden shelf. The natural grain and slight imperfections in the wood provide balance to more refined decorative pieces. This mix keeps the room from feeling overly formal. A vintage trunk or weathered chest can double as storage and decor, adding both character and practicality. An ornate mirror instantly elevates a guest room. Choose gilded frames, antique silver finishes, or softly distressed wood borders. Position the mirror opposite a window to reflect natural light and make the room feel brighter and more spacious. Beyond function, mirrors add subtle glamour, bringing that polished warmth to rustic surroundings. Walls are the perfect canvas for vintage charm. Consider botanical prints, sepia-tone photography, or classic landscape paintings. Arrange pieces in a symmetrical gallery wall for a refined look, or keep it simple with one large statement artwork above the bed. Soft gold or wooden frames help unify the collection and reinforce the timeless aesthetic. Window treatments should feel soft and romantic. Linen curtains in neutral tones create effortless elegance. For added drama, layer sheer panels beneath heavier drapes to control light while maintaining privacy. Tiebacks with tassels or subtle metallic accents introduce just a touch of glamour without overpowering the rustic elements. If space allows, create a small seating nook with a tufted armchair or vintage slipper chair. Add a side table and a soft throw to make the corner feel intentional and inviting. Guests will appreciate a quiet place to read or relax. Upholstery in muted florals or textured fabrics enhances the classic appeal while maintaining comfort. Vintage armoires or wardrobes bring grandeur and practicality to a guest room. Look for carved details or paneled doors. Open shelving with woven baskets keeps essentials organized while preserving a rustic feel. The key is blending beauty with function, ensuring guests have space without clutter disrupting the aesthetic. Small accents complete the story. Use decorative trays to organize candles, perfumes, or a carafe set. Incorporate brass candlesticks, ceramic vases, or antique clocks for subtle vintage flair. Restraint is important. Select meaningful pieces rather than overcrowding surfaces. A textured area rug grounds the space. Persian-style rugs or faded oriental designs complement classic decor beautifully. Layering a smaller patterned rug over a neutral base can add depth and dimension. The warmth underfoot makes the room feel instantly cozier and more luxurious. Fresh flowers add life and elegance. Arrange soft blooms like roses or hydrangeas in a vintage pitcher. If fresh florals aren't practical, dried lavender or eucalyptus provides rustic charm and gentle fragrance. Natural elements soften the structured decor and create a welcoming, lived-in atmosphere. Rustic Glam requires balance. Introduce metallic finishes through drawer pulls, mirror frames, or lamp bases. Velvet cushions or silk pillowcases add understated luxury without overwhelming the vintage theme. These polished details catch the light and elevate the room's overall refinement. Think like a boutique hotel. Provide plush towels, a folded robe, and a small basket of essentials. A handwritten welcome note or a small tray with tea and biscuits makes guests feel truly cared for. It's these thoughtful gestures, combined with timeless decor, that transform a simple guest room into a cherished retreat. Classic vintage decor for guest rooms is about blending history, comfort, and subtle glamour. By layering rustic textures with polished finishes, you create a warm, inviting space that feels both elegant and deeply personal. Every detail, from the bed frame to the smallest accent, contributes to a cohesive story of charm and hospitality. With intentional choices and balanced styling, your guest room can become a timeless sanctuary. Thank you for joining us today on Decorative. If you found inspiration in this video, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment below sharing your favorite vintage touch. We can't wait to see you in our next decor journey.